Marauders are known for their rough appearance and their unkindly manner. They traverse the voids between kingdoms, scavenging, pillaging, and taking what they can in order to survive. Marauders rarely deter from their line of work, but there came a day when one such marauder grew sick of his mundane lifestyle, and so he set out on a new path, a prodigious quest that only few throughout the ages have ever achieved. Many who tried before had perished in what could only be imagined as a most gruesome death. Dragon slaying, knighthood's highest calling. Hello everybody, I am the War Chariot, and welcome to the first of many PvP build videos. Today we are doing the Dragon Marauder. This build is a strength build, primarily using strength weapons, pretty much all of them. One of them I believe you might be able to swing dex, but primarily everything is strength. And we do have decently heavy armor on. So let's show you what we got here. We are starting off with a Dragon Slayer Great Axe +5, a heavy Wing Knight Twin Axes +9, a heavy Dark Sword +10, and an offhand Keistis +7. For the Keistis, it doesn't really matter if it's +7 or hollow. I had it hollow because I was using it in another build I was doing, but we're just using it for parries, so it doesn't really matter. It could just be a plain Keistis and it won't make a difference. For the armor, we have a Silver Mask, Dragon Scale Armor, Dragon Slayer Gauntlets, and Dragon Scale Waistcloth. Rings, we have Chloranthy +1, if I can get to it here. We have Chloranthy +1 for our first ring. For our second ring, we have Ring of Favor +1. Then we have the Hornet Ring, and we also have Havel's Ring. Quick explanation, Chloranthy, pretty self-explanatory. We want an increase in endurance boosting. You know, when we're rolling around doing our dodges, we want our endurance coming back faster than normal so we can keep in the fight. Ring of Favor, it's kind of like the third Dragon Ring from Dark Souls 2. It kind of just boosts everything, and it's, you know, all around good. And it also increases our max equip load, which for this build, as you can see, we're at 69% weight ratio. So without this, we would be overweight. Hornet Ring, our parries, I'm not the best at them, but when I get them off, the fight's over, especially if I'm using my Great Axe. Finishes them off, gives you that extra stab, usually enough to win. Havel's Ring, again, I'm using a lot of stuff here, a lot of heavy stuff. Increases maximum equip load, so we stay under the 70% threshold and don't end up fat rolling. The Covenant doesn't really matter, I'm just happen to be in the Warrior of Sunlight at the moment. Obviously our flasks, Ash and Estus flasks, when we're fighting, we will only have one because it's going to cut our vials in half. But every once in a while I will use some weapon arts, and I wanted to have at least one flask to kind of replenish them if need be. Obviously the soapstone, so we can get into our battles, and our gold pine resin. For our dark sword, some of the fights we could start off with the heavy dark sword, and the pine resin just gives a little bit of a boost, so I chose that. Main weapon is the Dragon Slayer Great Axe. We'll start most of our fights like that, and then we can move into these two. The one reason that I chose these three different weapons is, one, I wanted to have a weapon that just did a shit ton of damage because this is a strength build. These are also strength weapons, but two, they all have vastly different movesets, and for those parry champions out there who think the R1 Dark Sword spam is going to come out all the time, they're wrong. We'll be R1 spamming a little bit with this, you know, then we'll switch up to jump attacks and R2s and L1s, and then we can go here and do some weapon arts and R1s, R2s, all that jump attacks, and then the same with this, and they're vastly different movesets, so unless they're experienced parriers, they will have a hard time keeping up with a variety of movesets. Rather than just having this and going full R1 spam, R2 spam, and them getting super used to it, you know, and you getting parried. And pretty much nowadays with the current meta, anyone who's parrying consistently will also have this guy on, and with this guy, one parry means one death, usually. Unless you got like 75 plus vigor, which nobody really does. So, that is the build. The one thing I was interchanging with this was the Black Knight Glaive. So that is another option I recommend if you don't like the twin axes. Everything on this build should be +10 except for the Keistis and the armor, so basically these three weapons. The only reason, well, and the Dragon Slayer Great Axe because it can only go +5. But the only reason these aren't plus 10 is because I only have one slab left, and I kind of wanted to save it. But obviously, to maximize it, you would just use the slab and go plus 10, and you'd probably get an extra 45 physical damage out. Didn't want to waste the extra slab because I got other stuff I want to do with it, so that's the reason for that. So, we are here in the Pontiff boss fight room, and we are going to be doing some arenas and some clubs here. Rather than, you know, invasions and all that, because that takes too much time. You know, you get those 4v1s where people are healing, and it just becomes annoying. And I want this purely to show off the skills and movesets of the build. So let's put down our sign and see if we can't get into some invasions here. Alright, into our first invasion here. It looks as if it's going to be me versus the host. For the first couple of invasions here, I'm going to kind of talk through what I'm doing here, just to give you guys an example. And then we'll go through a ton more where I'm just zipping through them, not really talking much. So we're going to give this guy his little dual bow. It's kind of a common thing in the arenas to just kind of give him a little bow, just let you know the fight's about to commence and everybody's ready. And then we can get right into it. So we see he's using, it looks like to be, is that a profaned, or actually it looks like the moonlight. So it is a heavy sword. It's going to have a, or not a heavy sword, but it is going to have greatsword-esque moveset, so it's slow and can be dodged. So we're gonna work at him with this. Backstab off. And then, if needed be, we would chase and run and swipe at him with our dark sword to chip that little bit of health he might have had left. Overall, pretty easy fight. I didn't expect to get that backstab off there. I wasn't sure if the angle was going to be correct, but every once in a while you get a lucky backstab, and that it also helps to try and go for the backstabs, even though you don't think you might get them, because sometimes like that you end up getting them. And with a heavy strength build, usually a backstab means GG. All right, coming into our second invasion here. I wonder if this one's going to be a club or it'll be another host. And it looks like it is another host. Yeah, I'm not seeing any other guys. I always do a little check just to make sure I'm not going to get ganked. Give him our little bow. And it looks like we have a Havel Yorm Machete, Yorm's Great Shield guy. So here we are going to have to be real careful. I'm not sure if that can be parried at two hands. So we're going to definitely have to be careful there. We're going to have to work at him with this. And really be careful here. Watch, because that thing also has a quick roll jabbing attack like my weapon. He is losing the trade, it looks like. Want to be real careful. See if we can get one more hit on him, then we'll change it to a faster weapon. There we go. Now it's dark sword time. Gotta be real careful. One more hit and I'm probably done. There we go. Just gotta be patient. He'll swing that big old sword, and I'll poke him and he'll be done. I think probably one more poke and he could be done here. It's real important, especially with that great shield. There we go. Give him a little path of the dragon, shall we? And that's how you take care of a Havel beast wielding a great shield and a Yorm's Great Machete. And it looks like we have a guy who wants to try and parry with a, well, it looks to be sort of like a Drakeblood greatsword. See if we can get in here and give him a hit. Has a lot of health. Looks like he has a decent amount here. We're gonna have to be careful with the trade because it looks like we're trading about even. There we go. Put in that damage. Gotta be real careful here. See if we can go two hands. There we go. Look at that. He pulls out his buckler. GG, my friend. GG. Okay. See if this guy's got a summon for me, or... Ah, there he is. Let's see what he's got. Looks like he's got... Ooh, the Dragon Slayer's axe. Okay. It's a quick weapon. He's also got a Llewellyn shield that'll probably try and parry us with. Already trying to throw those parries out. Ooh, we got the parry off. This guy is real clean, or real keen on his, okay. He wanted that one. Okay. We're gonna have to roll this. We're gonna have to, be real careful here. That is why I like using these axes. GG, sir. Alright, 5th invasion. Here we go. Gonna be starting off with our great axe again. And put some heavy damage in, and then we'll either switch up to the axes or the sword. Depending on what the situation calls for. So, let's see if we can't chalk up another W here. Looks like we're going to be fighting Artorias, so that's kind of cool. I wonder if he's got his sword, too. Looks like he does. So we got to watch out for the breakdancing moveset. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. Keep him on the run here. He's out of stamina now. There we go. I was gonna say, if we hit him there and he didn't die, I was gonna either pull out the axe or the dark sword. But according to his health bar, that was all he had. So easily wrapped up with the great axe, and it just goes to show how strong it is. All right, coming in with the 6th invasion here, the last one that I will commentate, and then the rest will kind of be just a compilation of fights and battles, so you guys can just have it to watch and see how the build works even further without me here talking. Kind of let you judge the build for yourself there. But we'll start with the twin axes. I think this is the same guy, actually. So he knows. He already knows what... Or is this the same guy? Oh, the last guy had an Artorias sword, I thought. I don't know. Whatever. Looks like he's got a profaned... Or no, not pro... Well, now that I see that dagger, that's the Farron sword, I think. But that is a parry dagger. He's trying to parry, Ooh. grind. Let's give him grind him. Alright, he's seen the grind. Let's give him a little bit of, let's give him what this guy came for. Okay. This guy's gonna break dance a bit. And then we're gonna break dance a bit on him. So, this is the build. At the end of the video, I will show the build again, talk a little bit more about it. But until then, sit back and enjoy the show.
We about to turn it on.
everybody, that's pretty much going to wrap up the build video. A little bit of a showcase displaying how all the weapons and items that I'm using work and are supposed to work. We'll show you the build again real quick. You can see we got the Dragon Slayer Great Axe, the Wing Knight Twin Axes, the Dark Sword, the Kaistus, the Silver Mask, Dragon Scale Armor, Dragon Slayer Gauntlets, Dragon Scale Waistcloth, Havel's Ring, Hornet Ring, Ring of Favor +1, and Chloranthy Ring +1, as well as our Ashton Estus to restore FP, and our Gold Pine Resin to buff our Twin Axes and our Dark Sword. Quick explanation of the stats. Again, I would be at least maybe like 125, 130 to do this build. You want your vigor and your strength at least 50, hard caps for both. Beyond there, you won't see that much increase in scaling. You want your attunement endurance at about 35 apiece, just so you can get hurricane movesets off, like with the twin axes, and have enough endurance to spam the heavy axe a few times. You also want the vitality at least 35 so you can hold everything, because with the vitality at least 35 plus the rings, you should be able to hold everything. Attunement doesn't matter, intelligence doesn't matter, faith and luck also do not matter. Those are basal stats. And then I think the last stat I gotta go over is dex. You need at least 15 to use the Dark Sword, but you might already have that depending on which class you started with. So that is that. Again, the lore bit I did at the beginning is a nice little touch, I thought. It adds a little bit of depth and realness to the character. Just like all of the items, weapons, and armor sets you find in Dark Souls usually have little lore bits in that are fun to read, especially if you're more into the lore of the game. I know I always enjoy reading the lore and trying to piece things together. I'll plan to do that on future builds. Thought it was kind of neat. Didn't take too much time, and I enjoyed it. So that is going to wrap this one up, guys. Thank you all for watching. Plenty more build videos in the future. And until next time, this is the War Chariot, signing out.